Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a different sort of job starting. We have a Mk1 Golf. We all love these cabriolets, they're beautiful, but the engines get tired, the gearboxes get tired. So I know, let's take a moment to make it better. Let's take out the old engine, put in a new gearbox that's got 5 speeds, not a 3-speed auto, because we all hate them. So that's coming out, that's getting binned. And yes, as you can see, always make sure you put labels on where everything goes. Even though you might take out and think, I won't forget that, always make sure you put labels on, just so it makes it easy when you put things back on. And especially this build, because we're swapping it into a different engine, I just wanted to make sure we had all the labels on, so as you can see the little white tickets are basically labels telling where everything went. And because there was multiple others taking stuff to pieces, I just wanted to label everything up so it didn't make a mistake later on in the build. As you can see now that we are taking all the bits off nice and gently. Obviously we've sped this up so you can see, and it's not too boring. But yeah, basically just take your time, take everything off, all the auxiliaries, all the external outside of the engine bits, to make the engine lift or drop a lot easier than having to fight around things. As you can see, Tim would make a very good foreman, because I think in this clip it doesn't move very much. We nearly wanted to bring the engine up and through, but I think in the end we made the decision to drop the engine out, as you'll see later on in the video. Rust and solace, this barrage my home. Dreams, they both come loose. Tighten them down, find my truth. And solace this barrage, the broken heal. Hey Tim, you having fun?
Yes, mate. Got dirty hands and everything. Only one of them.
The concentration. Basically now we're taking the manifold off. Well, Matt and Tim are taking the manifold off. Take it steady, because obviously the bolts have been through heat sinks and stuff like that, so they do tend to rust in and stick in. So as you can see, I was giving you help. Educated hand, I think it was called, but yes, they're getting there. And solace, this garage my home. As you can now see, we've jacked up the vehicle just to give us better access underneath, just to get rid of some of the stuff at the bottom and disconnect bits and bobs, because the exhaust won't come out without it being jacked up, so it's always nice to get them jacked up so you can get the clearance. If you do end up doing it like we've done it, where we drop the engine out the bottom, always make sure you've got clearance to jack the vehicle up, and make sure it's on blocks. Every bit of safety gear you can. I always put a lifesaver under when they'll jack the car up, just in case safeties give way. You've always got that block underneath that will save your life one day. So just take your time, undo the clamps and drop the engine to the floor. And solace, this barrage my home. Bolts and dreams, they both come loose. Tighten them down, find
well-streaked mirror shows a weary face, but these machines, they give me grace. A dance of gears, a hymn of sparks.
Engine swap from auto to being manual.
Yeah, so what have we done?
Took the engine out
Yeah.
and broke a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. Mostly Tim. How many jobs have you done today, Tim?
Judging by them, I was at least 10.
Yeah,
How
look
dirty
at...
they are. You wouldn't believe it.
Yep, that's the second time I've washed them today as well.
No, do you wow, mate?
Don't swear. You're on camera.
It's right, it's not monitored. We don't make that much. Not monitorised yet.
Not yet.
So yeah, so we're just going to tidy up the engine bay tomorrow, get it all ready for the new engine to come in, and then we've got some bits on order, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
What have we got on order? Clutches
Yep, all the service parts.
and all the service
A
parts.
few more bits to order as well.
Oh yes.
Fun times.
Yep. So
We've had to stop Matt before I get carried away going down this rabbit hole. Oh, I could just. Oh, maybe I could just. Oh, while we're here, I could just. No.
but this all started with a air filter change.
Yeah. If you'd have found that by the earth, I wouldn't have had this problem.
You said you didn't like the gearbox.
I don't.
There you go then, so shut up.
Better than the dangling accelerator relay, though,
Don't
isn't it?
start him off on that one either.
What relay is it?
Accelerator, isn't it?
No, ignition.
Yeah,
Ignition.
Ignition relay dangling upside down in the weather. What about the nice loose earth lead?
What about all the nice loose bolts that are all across the
Yeah,
engine?
yeah.
From bell housing to
So
axles.
we do think this engine's been out prior to Tim's purchase. So we'll see. We'll see how much it goes back in the way it should do.
Yeah. One more thing.
What?
Why haven't you got your shark t-shirt on?
Because I don't want my shark t-shirt on today.
What, every video I've seen you on.
It was cloudy when we started.
What's that got to do with it?
It's cloudy when we started. And it was raining as well. It's got holes in.
Where's the shark t-shirt?
Go on, wash it. Worked on my car this week.
It did?
You did.
Damn.
Did I wear the shark t-shirt then? I think I did. One took it was hot. Yeah, I wore the shark t-shirt then. Okay, we'll get more shark t-shirts. If you want to buy one, just let us know.
Start advertising.
Yeah, so that's it. We're ordering takeout now, so see you later.
Caught.
Engine's out, all the stuff's out. Now let's clean the engine bay up and get it all ready for the new engine plant to go in and the gearbox. Now we've got the engine out, it's time to assess the engine bay and give it a nice good clean and a scrub. So we'll clean all that up. As you can see, we've now filled it full of soap suds, penetration fluid, just to get it all nice and clean and get rid of all the dirt and grime. Use a couple of scrubbing brushes and get it all nice and worked in there, ready for jet washing off and cleaning off.
Go on, Tim, put your back into it.
So now you can see it's all nice and clean, nice and ready to start scraping and getting ready for painting the engine bay and getting it all set up. What are you painting, Tim? What are you painting?
Everything.
Everything.
Whatever this is, well, they're exactly the same.
Thanks for watching. Here's the next video. If it's out, if it's not, then it'll be another video. But yeah, like, enjoy, and here's also a Dutton video just to keep you in tuned. And let's have a go. Next video will be all about getting the engine serviced and ready to go back in. Dush.
Yeah.
I'd like to get it out of the way just in case the scrap man comes round. So, we are going to put the heart of the car back in, we're going to put the nice engine back in, and we're going to put the 5-speed gearbox hopefully back in. Hopefully she fits without many problems. So we'll follow it through with that and keep an eye on. We are taking our time to basically remove the inlet manifold, to remove the exhaust manifold off of this engine, make sure we don't snap anything and we don't go further down the rabbit hole as we usually do. So we're taking our time, remove all that, clean it all up, get it all ready to go back in the engine.
That's actually two. The socket's too big to bring it in there.
Obviously this is an oily rag build. We don't want the engine to be nice and shiny. We want the engine to look like it belongs where it belongs. So we aren't really painting the engine up. This is Tim's idea. So yeah, we are going with that, and we'll get the engine back in as soon as we've... Sorry, it's been a bit long-winded. I've had COVID, picked COVID up halfway through the build, and it's my first time having COVID, so it's took a hit out of me. But I am building back up, I'm getting better. So we are basically now, we're removing the inlet manifold and removing the exhaust manifold. The bolts have been in there for a long time, so Tim's trying his best to take them out. We all know you need to smack the bolts to get them to move out and to try and not snap them. Obviously you can use heat induction, or you can use a blowtorch, or just warm the bolts up a little bit. But this time I don't think they're that bad. I don't think it was that long ago these actually came out, because we found quite a lot of the bolts that aren't tight and a little bit loose. So we are taking our time, making sure we don't snap anything, and taking every nut and bolt off as we go. So do remember, when you put the inlet manifold back on, there is a little O-ring on the manifold that you need to put back, you need to change, because that's your water jacket as well. That's where your coolant goes through the manifold. It's a little bit weird for these sort of things, but yeah, if you don't change that can leak. So yeah, just take your time, make sure you fit it all right, and then fit it all back in when it's back in the car, because obviously the lump's easier to move without all your auxiliaries on and stuff. So yeah. So now you can see me, I am just checking the cam belt. I'm just going through, making sure the cam belt's okay. I didn't like the look of the cam belt, so the choice was made to basically remove the cam belt and put a new cam belt in. These are quite easy. I'll put the picture of the cam belt points here. Oh, hello, it's hot, horrible, and it looks like it's going to rain. So just drop the engine in. Next, pipe everything up in reverse order to what you saw earlier. So, yep, all good. So it's a little bit close in some areas, but I'll show you that in a minute. So as you can see, it's a little bit close to the master cylinder there. I think it should be all right, but we'll find out when we start piping it up. It's time to do the rear mount, front mount, and tighten all the mounts up.
Right. Time to drop the drive shafts in, I suppose. I think the exhaust needs to go in first. Yeah, I think the exhaust needs to go in first, so I'll attach the near side drive shaft, and then I got dirty hands already. Been doing it 10 minutes. Shall we see if these fit? Oh yeah, that's what we want. So if I just use a standing knife blade and just go around here and just make sure there's no high spots or anything left over, any mess. Yeah, we should have done it when it was out the engine bay. But as you can see, it's not a pristine engine swap. It's just basically get this engine in, get it running. See if it is. It's ran as a daily, so any oil leaks and that will just keep things from rusting, I suppose. So let me go and get a standing knife blade.
Right, manifold. So obviously we've dropped the engine in now. You didn't see me put the engine in because I didn't video that because I was trying to do it by myself, and it wasn't really the footage wasn't very good. So you saw me intro after I put the engine back in. So manifold, everything, manifold, inlet manifold, all underneath the car. Just take your time, make sure you don't cross thread anything, make sure all the bolts go in. Always start the bolts with your fingers first, get a couple of threads on it before you start using the ratchet, and make sure you put all the gaskets on the right way around is the main thing, really.
Tighten them down, find my truth.
Up we go. There we go. Let's get a washer on and a nut on, just so it holds it exhaust up. One of the other ones on. Like that. Like that. We'll hold him in place for now. And then I'm going to turn this around because we need to connect the exhaust. Can you see? Can you see we need to connect it? Yes. We need to connect that in because obviously when we bolted it up it's going to be a nightmare to connect. So as long as we just get it pushed into the recess, into the actual pipe, then we'll be hunky-dory. Let me see if I can put you back. Oh no, we're going to have to move you. There we go. Does that see better? Yeah, you can see just about, can't you? So, and then we need to fight the other two seals up into place as well. So. Manifold on. I'll show you what it looks like from the top. Right, that's what it looks like from the top. All nice. We're going to put a piece of paper in there or something to stop rubbish going down while we do all the bits and bobs around the engine bay. I might put the card back on. Oh, see what time it is.
Find my truth. Fix the broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find.
Then after that, you just see me putting everything back in reverse order, all the wires, all the connections, everything, all the little bits and bobs that need reconnecting. Obviously we did label everything up, so it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot more user friendly because you never know how long it's going to be until you have to put the engine back in. Sometimes you can find things you have to weld the chassis or you have to take something, so always label up. It always just saves that time, and you never know, it might not be you, it might be somebody else that puts it back in. So always label up and just make it easy for people. So now I'm just basically going through fine-tuning where everything runs, making sure I feed cables back through and round things. Obviously the engine bay's setting off my ADHD a little bit, so I'm going to be redoing some of the wiring because it doesn't quite run the way it used to run. It doesn't really suit my sort of way of wiring, so I'm going to rerun some wires, remake some wires, stuff like that. Like the earthing lead looks horrible to me, it looks old and it looks like it's had a lot of wear, so I'm going to put a new earth lead, so negative lead from the battery through, and put a nice new posi lead going down to the starter as well and to other auxiliaries, because this also, when looking through this, I knew that I needed a new coil,
new distributor cap because that looked a little bit worn. May as well put a rotor on there as well. New HT leads, just make everything new. So the drive, the first drive of Tim, he enjoys it and actually loves it. So yeah, we'll take our time, make sure all this works correctly, make sure you've got the power that you should have at the speeds that you need it to, and it's got the pull. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. If you like the merch I'm wearing, yep, it's also got the label on the back. If you like the merch I'm wearing, we do hats as well, t-shirts, socks, bags, cups, stickers and all that. But if you want to support the channel, buy some merch. It supports us in the long run, and it also gets a name out there. So.
Well, you would go in that.
Push it down the side. Welcome back to the Mk1 build. If you've not watched these series yet, there'll be a link somewhere up here to actually go back to the first video so you can follow it along. Unless you just want to see me fighting with electrical problems. Get the ignition to turn over, which isn't best. So we knew there was a problem behind the dash, so I kind of thought I was going to have to take dash out anyway to see what the issues were behind there. But yes, it's just over the age of the car, you know that multiple people have adjusted, played with and modified things, put radios in and stuff like that. So you can see where there's a chocolate block on the radio and other bits. So fault finding on this lovely car, I noticed that the ignition was intermittent, switching it on and off. Having a little dig, noticed that the solder wasn't quite right. Somebody had cut the wire and then buttered two connections up and tried to solder together. There's not enough wire there, so we're going to have to remove the dash to assess all the wiring. We know that somebody's took the dash out because there's 2 screws missing here already, and then there'll be a couple of screws behind here, a couple of screws behind these 2 instrument clusters, then disconnect the dash, and then all that should nicely come out. There's an air box or something down here. The fag tray will come out as well, and all that will come out, and then we can remove the dash. So hopefully you enjoy. We will put a box on this as well because it's not actually, the box isn't fitted, so we'll fit that when we put it all back together. So just mental note of things. These little switches need to come out, take care steady, because obviously it's an old car. We don't want to break anything. We need some baggy. I knew I was going to drop scrap. I'm going to cover that hole up. Oh, it's getting warm in here already. Let's open a window. Right, label printer. There's other brands, but it always makes good. Set bags. And let's cover this hole up before we lose much more down there. There we go. This is where you find out why we called down the rabbit hole, because this job just seems to keep on rolling and going. So we found that there was some problems behind the dashboard. So if you shook the car, you could get the ignition to turn over. So when you're doing this, just take your time removing the dash. Obviously, if you break something, sometimes those little bits are really hard to get hold of. So just take your time, make sure you get all the bolts out and everything that needs to come out, and then slowly extract the dash from the car. So just go through. Just keep making labels and sticking them on. That all this needs to come back to here, because we don't know what we're going to remove yet. When we've got behind here, you don't know, you could be redoing the whole loom. It's a mess, so you want to know where everything goes. I do think this has been out before. I don't think this is the first time this has come out of the car, because everything is loose and not the right as well, some bits. So that's the right connection, that's the wrong screw there, you see. As you can see, I'm just taking bits out, but I am checking them and assessing them for damage or anything that will be a problem when it goes back in. Luckily there wasn't that much on this car. Oh, this is better. So yes, it's not pretty. So that's just a fire waiting to happen. Radios should be always secured, I suppose. And then here this was. So, dash is all out. Wiring's not the prettiest. All this needs, this is ignition wiring. So you can see why we had to rip everything out to get to this, because that's just horrible. You couldn't really get there to repair anything, so I just put some tape round to insulate everything, just to make sure that that wasn't the fault that we were seeing, but it was just, yeah, horrible stuff. So we had to rip it all out, and like you've got an earth point there, brilliant idea. So it worked back then, I suppose. So these are all earths, all off your negative, off your body. So we'll check them and make sure they're not grounding, and go from there. Wish me luck. Hopefully. So using electrical chocolate blocks, so that's those little screw things you see sometimes in houses and stuff like that, is probably not best behind a radio. I've been to a lot of cars that have had fires and stuff like that because someone's fitted a radio and used the chocolate blocks and the wires come out with heat and stuff like that. So it's better to use heat insulation, truly rated for the wattage and the ampage that's going through the car. So yeah, so as you can see, nice and tidied up. So we had to remove the bottom crash bar because there were some wires wrapped around it to make it easier access. We had to remove it anyway for the clutch pedal change of the steering column. So yeah, we just went away and just removed that, because obviously, as we've already spoke about, the clutch pedal difference was a welded in pin. If that wasn't welded in, you could have just undone a clip and took the pin out, but the pin's been welded in. I think that was done in factory. I don't think that's somebody else welding that in. So yeah, we just had to replace this and get that sorted, and then on to the next bit. And yes, Oscar had to help or hinder, one or the other, but we love him to bits, so obviously it's going to happen. Sorry, but the timer lapse was absolutely rubbish, so you won't see the timer lapse, but I have got this video of me putting the dash and the steering pedals and everything being put back in. So this little video is basically the dash is all back in, the steering column's back in, the manual steering column is back in with the 3 pedals, because obviously there's a little bit of difference on the pedals, was only slightly a little bit different. There was a welded pin on the manual to the automatic, so you couldn't just nick that pin and then put the clutch pedal on, you had to grind it off. So it was a lot easier and a lot safer to keep it original. Just swap the automatic steering column for the manual steering column. The only difference was the peg on the clutch pedal. So yeah, easily done. So just a couple of bolts at the bottom and done. If anyone wants a video of what we had to take out, I can do a little quick video for somebody. The first startup and the mystery sound when my heart sank and hit the ground, and I thought I did something wrong. You know the feeling when you get the jitters. Stay tuned. Let's put the battery on, just loosely for now. Helps if I have the key. This is it after months of wrenching, wiring, and well too much tea. Disclaimer, if it goes up in flames, it's not my fault. The Mk1 is ready to jump to life. The fluids are filled up, the battery is charged, everything is ready to start up, and my nerves are shot. Here we go. A little bit of choke on the old girl. A little bit more. Oh yeah! Drop a bit of choke off. Let her warm up. Oh no! Sounds like we needed to tune her a little bit. A bit more choke on. Oh yeah! Happy boy. Time for a test drive. It's not the engine, it's not the front, so what could it be? It sounded more like it was from the back, so let's investigate, let's jack it up, spin the wheels and see if we can get the sound to repeat itself. I think it's this one.
Yeah, I mean that's...
The handbrake's not on, you can't feel anything through the handbrake, one of the cables, something else is wrong, so let's strip it down and let's have a look. We found it! Amazing. What a find. Thank you, Richard. The Mk1 uses drum brakes at the rear, which the bolts go all the way through. They're not studs. Some drum brakes have studs, some have bolts. This one has bolts. So the length of the bolt is quite important, it's quite critical, especially on the rear, because they'll go through the alloy wheel straight into the drum, and if they're too long, they'll go into through the drum and out the back into where the shoes are and all the spring setup and the handbrake adjuster is and all that lot, and then start hitting that. As we've seen on this thing, that's what's been happening. We actually know that these are 10mm too long.
So if you actually look here, it looks like it's been rubbing on here, and this is all buckled, but the biggest one is there's not a spring here, and you see there should be a spring from here over to here to pull all this tight so the automatic adjuster works, because at the minute there's nothing holding the automatic adjuster, so this usually pulls that and it usually lets the automatic adjuster work. So that's the problem. So I'll get onto the parts people and just order a new one of these, a new like bar, adjuster bar, and that should be alright. All these look brand new, looks like someone's been here before. These look new. All this is a new kit, so I presume Tim's probably already changed this but just didn't put that spring in, because if it was, it would have been down here or in the shoe and get grinded up with the loads of metal debris and grinding. So yeah, let's onwards and upwards we go in the winter. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly take this off and I'll speed through it and just let you see it.
Pro tip, always check your bolt lengths, stud lengths, and also the pitch of the bolts to the wheels you're fitting, so you make sure you don't have a failure in that thing, because obviously when a wheel overtakes you, it's very embarrassing if you fit the wheels, and also very, very dangerous. The person who changed the wheels
Welcome, this is my little car.
is also the person who put the bolts back in. Yes, in a standard setup they probably have a 10mm spacer or something. The drums are probably 10mm thicker for the car that should have had these wheels on, but obviously this car is not that car, so we need to get 10mm shorter bolts. I found them, here's the picture, and fitted them, and there's no sound now, so it's all looking good. All built back up. Yeah, so this spring here wasn't on, so we can put it through, and I do think the other side's built the same, built with the spring in this bit up here, not down here. So I need to strip the other side down and build that up as the same again. And then we should be all hunky-dory. So yeah, hopefully that is the sound. So I need to push on the exhaust rubber as well. But yeah, that's the job for another day. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and press that notification bell. It all helps build up those numbers. Thanks for watching. Next one, we'll do a small tune, get it ready for its MOT, and make sure there's no other issues on the car whatsoever, that will stop it from passing MOT, and then I can book it in for its MOT. Oh, that'll be good. Get rid of it and get on the next project. Welcome back. Today we are basically tuning the Golf, getting it all ready for its MOT, because obviously in the UK we have MOTs to make sure they're roadworthy and stuff like that every year. So it's been off the road for 2 years I think now, so we need to MOT it to get it on the road. So just getting it put together and make sure all the lights work, make sure everything works, ready for its MOT. Give it a little bit of a bass tune just to make sure everything runs healthy and well, and then we will be tuning it at the MOT station as well, because I'm friends with them, so they'll let me use the MOT gas analyzer and just be able to get everything tuned in. and make sure the mixture, the air to fuel ratio mixture is key. So yeah, that should be our next video. So yeah, stay tuned, enjoy this quick tune. So this is what we used. We used a timing light, 30mm spanner, 8mm spanner, well, it's actually old boy, so it's a 5/16, and then a flat blade screwdriver. That's all we use to tune it. So it is as simple as that. It's just take your time, only work in small increments, don't turn things all the way, and go from there.
Time for a cup of tea at Great Northern Classics. What a treat. Just before we start proper work, eh?
Grease-stained hands in the fading light, wrenching my fists, another endless night. Chrome and steel, they never talk back, but they shine when I patch the cracks. Fix the broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find who we are. Under the hood, I'm not alone. Rust and solace, this garage my home.
So yeah, we've got a little grub screw down here for the fuel mixture. We also have a 30mm down there that you can undo, and then you can rotate your distributor, because you need to get the distributor pointing the right way, so when you're top dead center on one, you're firing correct and the ratio's right. So it shouldn't take too long, so it just needs to make sure that everything's tuned and everything's firing where it needs to. So there is obviously a timing light down there that we need to get the mixture right, so turning clockwise moves it forward, well, to the back of the engine, turning anti-clockwise moves it to the front of the engine. So it should be quite straightforward. You'll see on the timing light, it's quite hard to video the timing light at the same time, but I will try and freeze frame it for you so you can see it. And also down here there is a tick over grub that actually shorts your idle out, so you can get it roughly where it needs to be for the tick over. But when you are tuning, always make sure you remove this pipe, because if you remove that pipe, it makes things a lot easier to do, because obviously that's your advance. When you accelerate, changes the timing slightly. You can also check your diaphragm on that by just putting a gauge on here and just pulling and seeing if it leaks or anything like that. This one's actually not too bad, so we should be okay with this. It's just getting everything buttoned together. Check the lights. We found out the number plate lights were a bit wrong on the last video, so I'm going to sort that today because the LED bulbs have turned up, and go from there. So yeah, watch this. So yeah, we'll turn the ignition, start the vehicle up, just see if she can idle. Obviously you've got to put chokes, you've got to warm it up for a bit. A couple of minutes will be fine. So just warm it up, get it all nice and toasty. As soon as you get it all nice and toasty and warm, some people say get the fan kicking in so it's really warm. I think in this cold British weather at the minute, it's not going to be warm enough, it's not going to be cold, it's not going to be hot enough. So we'll get it warmed up, get it circulated to make sure the pipes are nice and warm, and then go from there. So as soon as we get it warmed up, time to tune. So we'll use the timing light, as you can see, and we will start to get the timing sorted, and then we will adjust the mixture. Obviously, yeah, it's just cut out, I'm sorry, but when it cuts out, just restart her back up and wind her out a little bit, and just get everything nice and plumbed in where it needs to be, and then go from there. And just basically small adjustments, that's fine. Usually on the fuel mixture screw, it's usually a quarter of a turn to go in and out, and if you go too far in, it cuts out, as you've just already seen. Just back it off a little bit, start it back up if it cuts out. If it's dying, tune it up a little bit. Quarter of a turn out, it's usually 1.5 to 2 turns. I think for base settings, usually roughly somewhere around about there, and then you can just tweak it as that, and then go for a test drive, see how she drives, see if she drives like a brand new car or anything like that, and go from there and just do slight adjustments, slight fettling adjustments I think you call it. And when you're happy with everything the way it functions, then off to the MOT we go. Thanks for watching. it's been a long time coming, this house, obviously illnesses and stuff in the time of doing this sequence and ordering parts and doing other jobs as well. It's been a challenging exercise. It should have just been an engine change and a gearbox change and then back in, but obviously we had pedals and everything needed to be changed, and then there was other issues on the car, electrical issues on the car that needed rectifying before we could go forward from there. We need to check the fan, so we need to run it up and get it hot. So I'll probably do that in the MOT time, because we'll sit on the ramp with it ticking over and go from there and see how things are actually progressing. We want the fan to kick in. The fan might have a problem on it, so we will run it up and get the fan kicking in. Hopefully that will be the MOT time, so that should be next Monday. So yeah, this is amazing. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to get this project done, because I can start playing with the Dutton and getting the Dutton on the road. Bit of a different car to this car. I can modify everything if I want to, and I want to get it ready for shows. I want to get it ready for shows this year. So I have got a family show we're going to that is Elveston Steam Rally. They have moved over the road now, but I would love to be able to drive the Dutton into Elveston Steam Rally and show it off. So we'll see how that goes. This golf's starting to grow on me really, but it's Tim's, so let's get it sorted. Let's get it back to him. We need to put the trim on the front before we go as well, to give you the little aero that it's got. But yeah, bucket of MOT. I know Tim's got some other things he'd love to do on this. When he gets it back, he wants to put a new hood on it, well, a new soft top on it. He wants to put some other bits in it, but that's his bag to do.
Grease-stained hands in the fading light, wrenching my fists, another endless night. Chrome and steel, they never talk back, but they shine when I patch the cracks. Fix the broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find who we
Took the car in for its MOT. We got a decent fail. It's not too bad. It's flat playing the steering rack. The rear position lamp popped when I was on the ramp, so it worked when we were standing outside having a cup of tea, but as soon as we did the MOT, the light bulb didn't come back on when I switched lights back on. The rear fog light was intermittent. Drive shaft on the offside front, the actual outer boot has got a little split in it, so that must have been from test driving. So I'm going to strip that down and just make sure that there's nothing wrong with the actual CV joint for it to split, because when we fitted them they weren't split. Also the VIN number, the vehicle identification number, on the engine bay wasn't present, and we couldn't find it in the usual stamped areas. So luckily we managed to have a look. I'll put the picture up somewhere up here in the boot, and we've managed to find the build sticker, so that was quite good, because we were going down the line of let's contact DVLA and all this to get the identification of the car, to make sure it's not a ringer or something like that, but it's not, it is the car. So the identification sticker in the boot for the build number, which is the first one to usually wear off, is still there. So I'll show you the sticker here. So we've ordered a new plate, so that's come, so we can rivet that on. I've also ordered new bushing, so I've gone for poly bushing because they're a bit more rigid, so it should strengthen up the steering anyway, so it should make it more of a positive drive. Tim should love that. The split boot, I've ordered that should be coming through Amazon, I think, later on. So yeah, stay tuned, let's see how it goes. Hindsight, it would have been nice to change this while the engine was out. It would have been really easy to get to it, but hey. Always make sure the ramps are nice and flat. Sure she's not going to go anywhere. She's fine. Right, so you can see the steering rack coming through there, look. So we have got to undo this one, this 13mm here. Yeah, and there's one above that, and there's one, can you just see through there? There's also one there. That's the round one, that's the square one, as you've already seen. So let's get them nice and replaced. So obviously I'm not going to time lapse this because it would be boring, but as long as you can see what we're going to undo. So I'm going to spray it with some penetration fluid first, just to get it all nice and loose, and then we can take these both off, replace the bushes for those nice new blue ones, and I'll come back when it's all done and show you again. So these are the new bits. That's a new bushing, that's the old bushing. So obviously you can see the diameter is enlarged on that, so it's got a bit more oval, and that one you can see that's a little bit worn over the years, which you expect. So I've seen them a lot worse than that, but obviously for the MOT there was a lot of play, so change them to them. It should stiffen all the steering up anyway and give it a more positive drive. So let's keep on going. A quick little tip for those that don't know: if you are stuck with the exhaust like I was, if you get somebody in the car and just turn the steering a little bit, and the wheels won't move but the steering rack will go over. Obviously only a little bit, don't need a lot because you don't want to damage things, but if you just give yourself a lift, you'll give yourself a little bit of playing room around the exhaust, so then you don't have to drop the exhaust, which saves you a lot of time. So, as you can see, cue the montage.
Broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find who we are. Under the hood, I'm not alone.
Now, onto the CV boot. Yay! I might change both actually, as they both look wet. So, we will see. There's the boot that is being a pain. So obviously that was okay when we fitted it, but with the rotations and all that lot, it's knackered it. So it's not loose or knocking or anything like that, but we'll wipe all the grease off, clean it all up. Hey, you can see the split now, can't you? A proper blowout that is. Hey, yeah. Bloody hell, it's tight, isn't it? Oh, yeah, bugger. There we go. Nice and tight. Smaller socket. Oh. Now, as you've seen before, nice and knock it off. And off, and then we're just waiting for the new one now. Yeah. Obviously, we want to. There's no scarring in there. It's just the boot. Amy, cup of tea. Yes, it's gone dark now, but I've just been up and helped Tim because he was struggling on his van. So now that's sorted, back onto it. Yes, always change this split ring. If you don't, you will have problems down the line. And trust me, you do not want this to come off. Always, always, always fill the damn thing up. Use as much as you can, because as soon as you start spinning the steering, it will fly out everywhere. Gently pop that back in. Yeah. Oh, as you can see, it's very, very dark here. It's getting late, it's getting cold. I'm done for the night now, just got the VIN plate to do tomorrow. Then it's off to the MOT to get the pass, hopefully. So yeah, we've done the CV boot, we've done the steering rack gator, we've slightly detuned the engine a little bit to give it a better CO emissions, and we've also done the lights at the back. So off to the MOT when the VIN plate's done. Oh yeah! Welcome back, it's the next day. So we're going to put the chassis plate on, give it a bit of a clean, and then off to the MOT next week. So stay tuned. We'll move the plate out of the way. There's a hole there, and a little hole there. That should do. There we go, 2 nice holes. Just want to put a bit of black silicone on to stop it vibrating or anything like that, or getting rust underneath. Chassis plate now on. Ooh, let's just clean it up a little bit. Oh yeah. Thanks for watching. If you're liking this series, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It always helps us. And plus, if you're enjoying this video, there's another video to watch somewhere here. So enjoy. Sorry for the long delay. You know what it's like in the UK? Rain, rain, rain. So we've managed to find a couple of clear days that we could do some of the video shoots and get you the final rendition. So here goes. Time for a recap from where we all started. Oh, many months ago. Cue the music.
Grease-stained hands in the fading light, wrenching my fists another endless night. Chrome and steel, they never talk back, but they shine when I patch the cracks. Fix the broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find who we are. Under the hood, I'm not alone. Rust and solace, this garage my home. Echoes of engines, they drown the ache. A life in pieces, but I still create. Pistons pumping like a beating heart. In the chaos, I play my part. Bolts and dreams, they both come loose. Tighten them down, find my truth. Fix the broken, heal the scar. In the quiet, I find who we are. Under the hood, I'm not alone. Rust and solace, this barrage my home.
I went for the MOT, drove back, and I thought it still doesn't feel quite right. So I popped over to BAB Motors, had a chat with them, got it on their ramp and had a look at the tracking with them, and the tracking was miles out. It was shooting left and right. So we had a look and we tried to adjust. Now, as we were turning the studs, as we were turning the track rod ends, nothing happened. So we had a proper look at everything and a closer inspection. The inner on the actual drumsticks or tracking arms were basically the nuts. One was missing and one wasn't tight, so we tightened up the one that we needed to, made sure it was far enough in, and the other one we got a nut to fit on and fitted it on. So then we managed to do all the tracking, get all the tracking right, and then I drove it back from BAB Motors, which is about 6 miles away from down the rabbit hole.
Rust and solace, this garage my home.
So I drove it back and it's felt and handled and just drove a dream. So I did a quick little tune up on the engine as it was warm when I got back to make sure it was all right for Tim to drive, and then took it back to Tim's and dropped him off.
Amy, where's the keys?
I got it.
So Tim's quite busy at the minute. He didn't have time to do a video, which is why we've waited so long. As a follow-up video, we'll check the car out, jack it up, make sure everything's tight, make sure nothing's come loose, make sure there's nothing leaking, because obviously the engine, we didn't do a full check down on the engine. We didn't change gaskets, we didn't change anything on the under the side of the engine. So it'd be nice to see how it has fared over the last couple of weeks that Tim's been driving it backwards and forwards to work and spinning it around, and I'm sure he's been having the soft top down, his hair waving like Don King in the background. I'm sure he's had some good fun with that. And obviously, as you can see from this build, it's not been a let's do a full nut and bolt restoration, let's do everything down to the T. Let's just get a true car back on the road. Let's just get her back on the road so she can enjoy some mileage, because she's a beautiful car. She's been looked after quite well in the past. That's why she's not so rusty, and we didn't have to weld loads of things underneath to get her past an MOT. She just needed a rehaul on the engine and gearbox, because nobody likes the 3-speed automatic, do we? So yeah, it was nice. I hope you've enjoyed. But yeah, this has been a dream to work on. Thank you, Tim, for trusting the channel to work on it. You've become a good friend and a good down the rabbit hole, I suppose. But yeah, let's see how things go.
Rust and solace, this garage my home. Echoes of engines, they drown the ache. A life in pieces, but I still create. Pistons pumping like a beating heart in the chaos.